Some of you guys know me from the videos I've uploaded or from my streams, and you know that I play RuneScape 3. But actually, I would still consider myself mainly an old school RuneScape player. But I haven't really been playing. Yo, what's going on guys? Chevelric here, and today we're going to be talking about the polling system. It's a very controversial topic, but hey, at this point I just need to stop mentioning it because every single commentary that I do is about a controversial topic, so it's just a topic at this point. We're going to be talking about it because, you know, it's been in talks a lot recently due to the controversy surrounding Group Ironman. There's not going to be a commentary about the Group Ironman controversy. I'm going to mention it because obviously it inspired this commentary to a certain extent, but I wanted to do this commentary for a little while anyway because I feel like the polling system is very flawed in old school RuneScape, and it actually made me quit the game. Yes, the polling system made me quit the game. Kind of, in a way. But I'll just get into it in this video. But before we start, leave a comment in the comment section down below on your opinion on the polling system. What needs to be changed, what Jackers needs to do with it. If you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, like, let me know. I really am interested in what everyone thinks because everyone has their own opinion. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer in this situation. Just be polite, don't swear at each other, don't call me names, don't call anyone else names for their opinions. Just let's have a conversation about it because I definitely think there needs to be a change done towards the polling system. Because, like I said, it kind of made me quit the game. And the main reason for that is because it's holding back content. And it's mainly holding back content for me to enjoy. And I'm not a PKer, so it's not the whole PKing controversy. I do think that the poll system should be made for players to vote on the content that matters to them. I do think that is definitely a good solution to the problem. PKers vote on PK content. Have that sorted by the amount of kills in the wilderness. I know you can boost it, but it's a lot more difficult in a way to spite vote if you need to go out of your way to kill people in the wilderness to be able to spite vote, and a lot less people will do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't spite vote anyway, but you know, that way it's sorted. They already done it with the Ironman poll. Like the Group Ironman poll has a section about should Ironman be able to buy bonds on the Grand Exchange. Only Ironman can vote on it. So maybe have that with PvP updates and PVM maybe as well. Like maybe have total boss kills, have like 50 boss kills or something, but have some filters on it so the people that are actually impacted by the content vote on the content. That way it would make sure that it's not like a cause of big controversy in the community because everyone is spite voting and blah 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 blah. But back to the topic at hand. The biggest issue with it, in my opinion, is the way it holds back content. I don't want to draw too many comparisons to RuneScape 3, but in RuneScape 3, the content is not held back by the community when it's too powerful. I know RuneScape 3 has a lot more power creep and a lot better XP rates, and you know, everything is quick and it's easy scape and blah 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 blah. But I feel like at this point it's holding old school RuneScape back. Like I said, it made me quit the game because there's just a lack of new content. And that's a whole different topic for a different video because I do think the lack of content is slightly different, but I do also think it is related to the polls and the content that comes from the polls and the way they handle it. But I'll get into that a little bit later in this video as well. It is such a problem that the community is too nostalgic. And I know that 2007 Scape is built on nostalgia, but I do think that a lot of people are still stuck in 2007 and want to stay in 2007, which in my opinion is destroying the game. Every new piece of content that gets released at this point, and I know we got Theater of Blood, I know we got Chambers of Xeric, and I know we got the Zenyte Jewelry, but after that it's been a bit lackluster in my opinion. The fact that there's a lack of endgame content, but also a lack of just progression in the game. When it comes to skilling, when it comes to pretty much anything in the game, like gear progression as well, but mainly skilling as well. I, at level 40, well technically level 61 because then I unlock the Dragon Axe, but at, let's call it 61, you unlock the best woodcutting method, which is teaks. You can 2-tick it or 3-tick it or whatever, or even just AFK. That's the best method. I remember when the Dark Mary quest came out and the AFK tree was better XP than teak, and it had all controversy and whatever, and it made it dead content. Now it's AFK and slightly lesser XP than the teaks. But it just goes to show that as soon as something new gets released that's better than something old, the community gets into an uproar and it gets nerfed. And usually content gets nerfed beforehand anyway, because Jagex reveals everything before it's even out, which is also an issue in my opinion, because there's no surprise updates anymore. And I know I can decide to not read the development blog, but at the same time, I watch YouTube videos, I watch streams. The chances of me actually, getting the information anyway is very big. So I'd rather read it myself or form my own opinion than have my opinion formed by other people that give their opinion in the videos, which is completely fine because it's their videos. Just like this is an opinionated video as well. That is an issue as well, in my opinion, but that's not the biggest issue. I think the biggest issue is the people that are too nostalgic for the game, that are holding back the game because it's devaluing their teak-only Iron Man, or because I had to suffer, you had to suffer. That mentality is destroying the game. Because I know that OldSchool Runescape is a grind game, way more than RS3, but at the same time, new content is a lot less exciting because the chances of it being better than old content is very small. And I know there are multiple examples of content that is better than, the old school content like Winterthought and like the aforementioned Theater of Blood and Chambers of Xeric, etc. But the Temporals boss, for example, yes, you can make money doing it, but it's not better than 2-tick fishing. And you could say, well, it shouldn't be, but at the same time, I'm like, shouldn't it be? I don't think it should be as powerful as Winterthought is, but I do think it needs to be the best fishing method in the game because it's like a mini game and it draws people into it. Now people go there for the pet and for the rewards and then they leave. It's dead. There's no point in going there. Like I said, it shouldn't be as powerful as Winterthought is, but I do think it should be more powerful than regular fishing. But that's it. It releases and it's dead content. And that happens over and over and over and over again in the game. And that is due to the polling system. The community has too much say into the game. And I feel like we got to a point where we need to trust the developers. It's been 7 years, 8 years even, and time again, even though they made mistakes, like recently with the 117 HD, they made it right eventually. Because they listened to the community. And that wasn't tied to no poll. They didn't poll should we add HD by 117 in it. No, they listened to the community. And I think we can trust Jagex. Well, the old school team, not Jagex, but the old school team at this point when it comes to updates. That is definitely something I'm personally a fan of. Just trusting them. I know a lot of people are not because of the mistakes in the past and Jagex, greedy money, whatever. But, I do think we can trust the old school team because I watched one of the streams where Mikey D, who's the product manager at the moment of Old School, so I think that means like he's the big boss at the Old School team, from what I understand. When he applied for the job, he got told there won't be microtransactions in this game, so you need to find other ways to bring in revenue. If that's the mentality of Jagex, the people hiring, the product managers, it kind of shows that they know that Old School will be, is reliant on not having microtransactions. So I would want to trust them on it, but, I know the community won't, and I don't think a lot of people agree with me on that, but hey, I do think the developers who studied for it, that know the game, that, that can see the statistics and everything else, they know what's good for the game, and I think we should trust them with our game. I know it's our baby, but it's time, because one of the biggest issues, which in my opinion should be a solution to the polling system as well and resources, is a meme that goes around about Jagex. Jagex doesn't pay the teams enough. I mean, I don't want to speak about RuneScape 3, but when it comes to old school RuneScape, that's a meme that goes around. I'm not saying it's fact, but it's a meme that goes around. But I kind of want to put the blame on something else than not paying enough. I think they're using their resources very irresponsibly. And that is because usually they work on an update, like for example warding, and I'm pretty sure it was like 65-70% done before they fully pulled it and it failed. That is hundreds, if not thousands of hours money and development time put into something that didn't pass the polls. And that's a major flaw. I think they should be polling content before they start developing it, because now you invested all these probably tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, but probably tens of thousands of dollars into a skill that is just shelved. It's just sitting there in a database and probably won't ever return. And I feel like if you can relocate those, hours and that time, we can have updates that fit the community better and that can improve the game and push the game forward into the right direction, instead of wasting resources on an update that won't pass the polls. And maybe they should have just said, like, hey, it was a 68% chance or something. I think it was 68%, something around there. It just barely didn't pass. Maybe we should add it into the game anyway, because it's good. It brings new people to the game. It adds some new content to the game as well. And that is something I feel like they should do more. I think the polling system should be gauging the opinion of the community and not have a binding last vote of the community. Just have it as a gauge on what the community thinks, what they want. And if it's really bad, there will be an outrage. And if the outrage is big enough, they will revert it. I think that is how it should work, where the polls are held before they start developing, and also that they're not binding, but it's an opinion on what the community wants. And then obviously when the majority, like the major majority, like 78% or something, does say, yeah, bun off, we don't want this content, they won't make it. But at the same time, when it's 68% and it didn't pass, I think that's the majority that does want the content. So have it pass. And that's not changing the percentage amounts, but it's just seeing what the community wants. In my personal opinion, they can remove it and I wouldn't bet an eye on it, because I don't care. I do think and I trust the developers on the project and on the product. And I do think that should be the direction they go in. But I know the community will never agree with it. So have it as opinions and don't. So what I'm suggesting is have it as an opinion poll, not a binding poll. Have it related to the people that engage with the content. So PvP is on PvP, Iron Man on Iron Man, etc., etc. And also poll before you start developing, so you can relocate the resource you put into developing something that gets shelved anyway into content that can actually be released. But that is just my idea. That is my opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. I'm very curious. Also, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I will upload an opinion video every single week. So if you like me, if you like my opinions, if you like my videos, consider giving me a subscription. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Chevalric. See you guys later. Goodbye.